What's up, guys? Mr. Blacks and Team BlackSmith. It's the Battle of the Race Guns Part 2. Buckle in, hold on tight, because we're going to light this place up tonight, so stay tuned. guys, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the range footage. I'm going to get right into this review. I'm going to review each one in no specific order. I'm going to give my final rankings at the end of the review. So hang in there, stick with me, and let's start off with this Masterpiece Arms DS9 open, chambered and 9mm. But before we get started, all clear, no ammunition or magazines, working in a controlled and safe environment. All right, so the DS9 open, the way it's set up right now, it's coming at 3.5 pounds with that flare magwell, still aggressive grip, pin grip safety, ambidextrous shielded thumb safeties. Very nice. It's got a nice hammer, full 5-inch bull barrel with that 2-inch 3-port comp, ported on all sides, and of course that barrel, 4 ports there as well. And listen to this action. Action is amazing. Still frame, still slide, lightning cuts on there, really lighten it up tremendously. And slide to frame fit. There is a gap there, but no movement whatsoever. You can just tell by this action and the way it performs. Extremely nice. 7-pound recoil spring, full-length guide rod, and that trigger pull is coming in at 1.5 pounds. Very light trigger pull. Very nice reset. Yes, very nice, very nice. Removable slide racker, and the optic mount is, of course, fitted for the Seymour RTS2. And also, if you get this built, you can also ask for the RMR optic mount as well. But extremely well-built gun. Masterpiece Arms is really doing their thing over there. Very exceptional race gun. Yeah, that action. Very nice. Very nice. All right, so that is the DS9 open. Again, I wish I had the red dot operational at the time to really show you how this thing really performs. But I pushed these guns, pushed them all faster than I ever shot any gun in my life. So you may see some shots all over the place, but I'm going to rank these based on ergonomics, feel, just the follow-up shots, and just overall recoil, if any at all. But again, gas pedals do take some getting used to. But again, that is the Masterpiece Arms DS9 open. All right, so up next. All right, so now we have that Bull Armory SAS 2. You are the ultimate racer. I love that. Now, Bull Armory, it just goes without saying, Bull Armory is just killing it in the market. I mean, I love Masterpiece Arms, but Bull Armory is just like, yes, it's as futuristic as this look. But before we get started, all clear. Working in a safe and controlled environment. There is no ammunition in the workspace. All right, so the Ultimate Racer Bull Armory SAS 2. Now, this is coming in a little bit lighter at 2.5 pounds, slightly over with the optic, of course, empty. Very unusual flare magwell, polymer grip, not a metal grip. I wish they would upgrade the grip, but you don't have that with them. But pen grip safety, ambidextrous shielded thumb safety, nice competition mag release. Again, full 5-inch bull barrel. Of course, the 4-port compensator there. Very light and slide there, but no ports in the barrel. But nice thumb rest there. Beautiful trigger, full-length guide rod. What else do we have here? Beautiful, beautiful. Of course, coming with that Seymour RTS2 optic. Of course, you have a choice when you order it to come with an RMR plate as well. But this right here, for the price point, you just can't beat Bull Armory when it comes to majority of their guns, and especially their race gun. Now, this is coming with a 9-pound recoil spring. Tell you, it feels like 7, but I have a 7-pound recoil spring that came with the pack, so 9-pound recoil spring. But I tell you, the action on here, very smooth, of course, and that trigger pull. Now, these trigger pulls on these race guns are all, in my opinion, going to be sub 1.5 pounds, and this one just below 1.5 pound trigger pull. Beautiful reset. And of course, as you see from the range footage, recoil is very manageable. Everything about this just screams performance. Again, 9 major. If you want to see this thing run at its best, run 9 major, but it can run regular 9mm. Again, PSA, public service announcement. If you get a race gun, these triggers are nothing to mess with. Training, training, training. Do not take these triggers for granted. Yeah, get training because you don't want to accidental discharges with these type of triggers. So get training. You're going to hear that throughout the entire Battle of the Comps review here. But Bull Armory was really making their mark. Their race guns are very exceptional. As you can see, very futuristic. You really won't see nothing like this out there. Of course, that SAS 2 is just one of the best. Oh man, yeah, Bull Armory is just that gun, but not ranking anything just yet. All right, so that's the Bull Armory SAS 2 Ultimate Racer. Up next, all right, Atlas Gunworks Chaos Chamber 9 Major. Beautiful. Now, it goes without saying, Atlas makes some of the most superior guns out there on the market. It's really hard to stack up against an Atlas. 2011 double stack 1911 and the Chaos, in my opinion, is the top of their lineup. But before we get started, all clear, working in a safe and controlled environment. There's no ammunition or magazines in the workspace. All right, so the way it's set up right now, this is coming in at 3.5 pounds. Like I said, very exceptional weight, very well balanced. Got that flare-up magwell, still aggressive grip. Grip panels for someone like me with larger hands allowed me to get a better grip on this. Of course, that pen grip safety, ambidextrous shielded thumb safeties, full length 5-inch bull barrel, that 3-port comp, and 2 ports on the slide. Very nicely done. Full length guide rod, full length dust cover, removable slide racker, which I do like. And the action, like I said, it's coming with a 9-pound recoil spring, but very nicely done. And that trigger coming around 1.7 pounds. 1.7 pounds. Beautiful reset. Very little take up. As you can see, this is, again, a dream to shoot. A lot of these race guns are like neck and neck with overall performance. But the ergonomics on this one, in my opinion, is probably one of the better ones out there. On the range footage, you can see just effortless shooting with Atlas Chaos. But again, going hand in hand, these race guns are built to run. All of them are exceptional. Slight differences which would give one the edge over the other, but ergonomics is definitely one of them. And Atlas does have one of the most superior grips. And with these grip panels out there, it's really hard to touch Atlas when it comes to their grips. But overall, this is probably my second one that I got into my collection. I ran this a couple of times in some competitions. This thing, like I said, they all run. They're built to run. And again, peak performance, 9 major. Now you can run 9 minor, just regular 9mm. If you want to see this thing run at its best, you got to run 9 major. And again, my PSA, sub 2-pound triggers are not to be played with. Do not take those sub 2-pound triggers for granted. You do not want a accidental discharge. But again, that's Atlas Gunworks Chaos. One of the best out there. All right, so next. All right, guys, next we have that Accuracy XR1 open race gun. Before we get started, all clear. Working in a safe and controlled environment. There is no ammunition or magazines in the workspace. All right, so Accuracy X R1 open race gun. My first race gun in my collection. I was seeing a lot of race guns out there, but this one caught my eye. I wanted to look at something that really was outside the box, and Accuracy X is one of those guns that's very exceptional. Don't sleep on Accuracy X. Now, at this point, this is the heaviest by far, coming in at 4 pounds, the way it's set up. Of course, the flare magwell, competition magwell, steel aggressive grip, pen grip safety, no shielded thumb safeties here, skeletonized hammer, full-length 5-inch bull barrel with the 2.5 titanium 3-comp compensator on there that's given the overall 7.5-inch barrel to into the compensator. And of course, got that Accuracy X engraving on there. Added the gas pedal, thumb rest on there. Of course, with the Seymour RTS2 optic. The window cuts really lighten up the slide. Coming with a 9-pound recoil spring. And the trigger, polymer trigger. I was little, back then I really didn't know too much about triggers, but now that I do, polymer trigger on a gun at this level of this build, I mean, slide to frame fit is exceptional. I would have expected a metal trigger, but again, it runs great. As you can see from the range footage, the weight of this really manages the recoil. But surprisingly enough, this is coming with a 3-pound trigger pull. You can see the action is amazing. 3-pound trigger pull. Nice reset. Like I said, full-length guide rod, full-length dust cover. Accuracy X is just one of those amazing custom guns. That's just a quality, exceptional build. I put it up there with Atlas, Infinity. Yes, it's just that spectacular, amazing. You get, checks off a lot of boxes when it comes to a race gun. But again, my first race gun. Now, gas pedal. Does the gas pedal need to be on there, the thumb rest? My opinion, yes and no, depending on the shooter. For myself, personally, they don't need to be on there, but again, when you're running 9 major and you're moving from target to target, transitioning, like I said, that does add extra stability. But again, training is required to run with your race guns with the gas pedal or thumb rest. Again, of course, not falling into that trap of pushing too hard down on the gas pedal, dipping your gun with every shot that you take. So always say, get your training, practice with the thumb rest. Again, with this being the 3.5-pound trigger, like I said, not too much concern around this one right here, but always be careful of race guns and always check the trigger pull weight. But this titanium 3-port comp really adding additional weight on there. This thing is built to run 9 major, nothing less than that. You can run regular 9mm, but it will not run properly. And with regards to the slide racker, I'm a righty, but have it on the left-hand side. Like I said, if you make a mistake and have your thumb up too high, yeah, that could be a bad day. That will really break your thumb or take off your fingernail if you're not too careful. That's why I have this one on the other side, because of the clearance. I just feel more comfortable having it on this side. But just my personal preference. All right, so the Accuracy X R1 open race gun. Beautiful in every sense of the word. Don't sleep on Accuracy X. Don't sleep on Accuracy X. All right, so up next. All right, guys. Have Phoenix Trinity Honcho, chambered in 9 major. Whew, now this is the original Honcho with the 3-port compensator. There's the version 2 out there, which you may see pretty soon in the collection, so be on the lookout. But the Honcho, the way this is set up right now is amazing action. All right, so let's go over the specs real quick here. Now this, a lot of weight to this one. This one is coming close to 4 pounds itself. Of course, competition magwell, steel, aggressive grip, pen grip safety, ambidextrous shielded thumb safeties, full-length guide rod, full-length dust cover, full 5-inch bull barrel, 3-port comp, adding extra 2 inches there. Of course, with the colors and everything else, added a Atlas thumb rest or gas pedal there. Overall, an exceptional gun. Like I said, the recoil impulse on this, there's really nothing out there like this with that linkless barrel. The block in there just really makes this something special. And that 7-pound recoil spring, as you can see the action, very nice. Now the slide racker, you really have to take the 2 screws out to remove the slide racker. But again, you actually can put an actual optic plate on here if you choose not to run the optic like the typical usual race gun. Optic is always fixed and never moves with the slide, but you do have an option to run the optic on the slide itself and actually change out the barrel. So I have 3 different barrels for this Honcho. I haven't switched them out yet. I've run this mainly for race gun, but I do love the options that Phoenix Trinity offers for their Honcho. Now the trigger pull on this, as you can see, 7-pound recoil spring. It's coming in at 2.5 pounds. Beautiful reset. Now, love the colors on this one. Of course, coming with that Trigicon SRO optic plate there. Again, you have choices between, again, a Seymour or an RMR plate. But exceptional work by Phoenix Trinity. Again, these race guns are built to perfection. Like I said, it comes down to the little things that gives one edge over the other. And again, ergonomics is always one of them. But overall, Phoenix Trinity Honcho, one of the best out there on the market. Cannot go wrong with it. This slide racker does not give me any issues the way it sits up a little higher. I do have concerns of one that curves a little lower that may cause me concern with my thumb just actually sitting too high when I'm in a competition, and yeah, a bad day. Ran this a couple of times in the competition, as you can see from the range footage. The weight on this really absorbs any recoil that this thing may give, and of course the thumb rest or gas pedal allows you to keep the gun stable at all times when transitioning from target to target. But again, I pushed these guns as fast as I could. And like I said, the Honcho performed amazing. All right, so the Phoenix Trinity Honcho. Yes. Love the colors. Love the colors. Did buy this one used. Someone got their serial number, Jeffries 1. So whoever Jeffries 1 is, thanks for the gun. All right, so up next. All right, guys. All right, so let's move into some grill gun level category, and this is one of my limited run collectibles that I have in my collection, which I absolutely love. Is that Taran Tactical Combat Master Alpha. Now, really deviating from a standard open race gun, but I tell you, the Combat Master Alpha is something special. Before it started, all clear. Working in a safe and controlled environment. There is no ammunition or magazines in the workspace. All right, so the Combat Master Alpha. In every sense of the word, the Alpha is probably the best gun in the Taran Tactical lineup. Now, this one is coming in at really light at 2.9 pounds. Again, flared magwell, polymer grip, but no pin grip safety here. Ambidextrous thumb safety, skeletonized hammer, full 5-inch bull barrel with a 1.5-inch 2-port comp. Of course, ports on the side there, no ports on the barrel. Picatinny rail, full-length guide rod, full-length dust cover. Now it's tapped for thumb rest. I did have one on there, but as you can see from the range footage, this gun really doesn't need one. Really, none of them do, but this one really doesn't need one at all. The recoil on this is barely there. 7-pound recoil spring. You just hear the action on this thing is ridiculous. Polymer trigger. Would have loved to see a metal trigger on here. Of course, running the Triticon SRO back there on the slide itself. Now, I could put the thumb rest back on there like I previously did, but I decided just to run it without the thumb rest or the gas pedal. But this is something that the Phoenix Trinity Honcho could look like with the optic sitting back on the slide itself. But the Terran Tactical Combat Master Alpha is very exceptional. The trigger pull coming in at 2 pounds. Very crisp. Beautiful reset. Slide to frame fit. Little bit of movement there. Little bit of movement. But overall, this is a performer. Again, this can run 9 major and 9 minor with no issues whatsoever. The 2-port comp really makes that work. What else we have here? Now, I wish metal trigger, of course, aluminum grip or steel grip, but the balance and the weight on this is very nice. The lightweight really allows you to move this gun very quickly, and that 7-pound recoil spring, yeah, very nice, very nice. But yeah, the Combat Master Alpha, yes, very exceptional. Again, in my opinion, the best one in their lineup. Man, I tell you, that action. Something about that sound. Just, ooh, does something for me. All right, so the Terran Tactical Combat Master Alpha. All right, so up next. All right, guys, did I save the best for last? Of course I did. That Infinity 38 SuperComp. Simply a work of art. Amazing in every sense of the word. Before we get started, all clear. Working in a safe and controlled environment. Locking this one back. Yes. No ammunition or magazines in the workspace. All right, so the Infinity 38 SuperComp race gun. Exceptional in every word. This is a true performing race gun. Coming in at slightly over 3 pounds. Very light to be running 38 SuperComp, and as you can see from the range footage, this thing shoots flat, probably 0.00001% recoil. I mean, just amazing work by Infinity. Hands down, their guns are exceptional. From the basic double stack 1911 to this ultimate race gun, in my opinion. Let's go over some of the specs. Like I said, coming slightly over 3 pounds. Surprising enough to be running 38 SuperComp. To handle that load and actually have no recoil. This is just one of those guns that this just leaves you speechless. But flare magwell, steel grip, semi-aggressive, pin grip safety, Bob Beaver tail, ambidextrous thumb safety, full 5-inch bull barrel, 2.5-inch report compensator. As you can see, those ports on there. Keep pushing that too far back. And those square ports. No one else that I've seen out there can do square ports like, or at all, like Infinity. Yeah, you really won't see that on a lot of race guns or ported guns. Those square ports here is really difficult for anyone to do, but Infinity has, mastered it. Of course, has the side ports on the comp, free floating barrel, island barrel at that, with those 4 ports. Very nice, running the SIG Romeo 3XL. And as you can see, the optic plate, I mean, this thing is by far the most well-built, machined race gun in my collection. Now, all the other ones are very nicely done. Even the Accuracy X, like I said, is on Infinity level with regards to slide to frame fit and everything else. But amazingly done by Infinity. Range footage says it all with this one. Coming with a 2-pound trigger pull. Nice reset. Now coming with a 9-pound recoil spring, as you can see. But with that island ported barrel really makes a difference, really separating itself from all the other race guns out there. So if you're able to find a island ported barrel for a race gun, yes, you got something special in your hand. So the island ported barrel really makes a difference, makes this an exceptional. Not saying this is the best one. I'll say that for my final thoughts and review, but you know, I talk about this all the time. So yeah, so I'll just leave this right here, have you look at it for a little while. But the Infinity 38 SuperComp is just that holy grail, the grail gun of all the race guns, in my opinion, out there. Yes, beautiful in every sense of the word. So if you're lucky enough to get a race gun from Infinity, yes, you have something special in your hands. Again, the thumb rest, gas pedal, very exceptional. Competition mag release there. And like I said, they come with their own tuned magazines. Like I said, these really can't run with any other magazine, so you kind of stuck with ordering extra magazines. Always recommend having 4 magazines for your race gun. But yes, Infinity, big ups to you guys. You guys still do amazing work to this day. Yes, just that gun. So 38 SuperComp race gun. Whew. All right, so my final thoughts and opinion in my rankings of these exceptional race guns. And like I said, it's not going to be easy. All right, so stay tuned, wrap this up, close it out. Be right back. All right, guys, welcome back. Tabletop review is done. So here are my rankings, and here are my guidelines for my rankings or my reasonings. It's all based not on price. Price is not a factor here. It's all based on performance, the build, slide to frame fit, trigger pull, overall performance, and the one element, how would this handle in a competition? Through stage after stage after stage after stage. Endurance, the weight comes into a factor. So all those things are playing a role or a factor in my decisions. All right, so number 7. Number 7 is the Bull Armory SAS 2. You are the ultimate racer is number 7. And like I said, it may be a little nitpicky, but it's the ergonomics. Like I said, amazing grip, but the ergonomics was the double cut underguard. That is very sharp. Now, I ran this in a steel challenge, and like I said, that dug into my knuckle. So over a long period of stage after stage, this will get very uncomfortable and painful to shoot because of that double undercut there, and that's very sharp. So I will probably have to shave that down. But right out the box, yes, this will be an issue for me. But this is a flat shooter, no question. Bull Armory is one of the best out there. All right, so that is number 7. All right, so number 6. Number 6 would be Accuracy X R1 Open Race Gun. Another exceptional, high-quality build, Infinity level build. I lie to you not. Accuracy X is that gun. But the reason why this is number 6 is the weight. You know, weight is good. It absorbs a lot of recoil, as you can see from the range footage. This thing is a flat shooter, and I pushed these guns as fast as I could. Like I said, I'm not the best rapid-fire shooter, but like I said, that being said, the more control they gave me, the better I felt behind it, not being that experienced rapid firing. So, but stage after stage, the weight would get to me. Multiple stages, having and managing the weight and the balance of the gun would cause a problem. So weight is a factor here for the Accuracy X R1. So weight is great, but long term weight could be a problem. All right, so Accuracy X is number 6 on my ranking list. All right, so number 5. Again, Phoenix Trinity Honcho. Oh, that was number 1 in our Battle of the Race Guns, part 1, the first battle. But here, as I got more experience shooting race guns, the weight became an issue as well. Now, ran this twice in some 2 competitions, and like I said, performed very well flat shooting, but the weight and the balance after a couple of stages start wearing to me, the stamina and control of it. I really start throwing my shots off. So the weight is the reason why this one is number 5 on my list. Number 5, Phoenix Trinity Honcho, but still one of the best race guns, firearms out there, period. All right, so number 4. Number 4, Masterpiece Arms DS9 Open. Like I said, exceptional, every word. Masterpiece Arms know what they're doing when they're designing guns. Slide to frame fit, all clear. Working in a safe, controlled environment. No ammunition or magazines in the workspace. Yeah, Masterpiece Arms. Like I said, well built, flat shooting. These ports, some of the best out there. The window cuts, the light and slide, the steel grip, everything. This trigger is just amazing. But when it came to the other race guns that I'm about to pick out here, the top 3, just minor little differences when it came to accuracy and control. But Masterpiece Arms, number 4. Number 4. All right, so number 3. Whew, this was a tough one. All right, Atlas Chaos. Atlas Gunworks Chaos is number 4 on the list. Like I said, this is a flat shooter too. All these guns are some of the best race guns. I mean, empty, all clear. Ports on the barrel as well. 3 comps. The action on this, simply amazing. Like Infinity is by far one of those grail pieces in my collection. But it came down to just the weight itself. Yeah, just the weight kind of threw it off. It's lighter than the Accuracy X. It's lighter than the Phoenix Trinity Honcho, just by a little bit. But yeah, oh, this hurts. So Atlas Chaos, number 3 on my rankings. All right, so number 2. Number 2. The Combat Master Alpha by Terran Tactical. Listen, guys, this right here shoots like a dream. Like I said, it doesn't look like the regular race gun, but this is a race gun. It's just the way it's set up. It's tap for optic mount. But I decided just to run it just the way I got it. This is the classic, the original look, the original build of it. So I didn't want to modify anything about it. I did have a thumb rest on there, or a gas pedal, but I took it off. As you can see from the range footage, not needed. And the gas pedals on some of these are really not needed as well. But this right here, light, durable. I could run this stage after stage after stage after stage and not worry about the weight messing up with regards to stamina, staying focused, keeping the gun balanced. But that Combat Master is number 2 on the list. Like I said, everything about this is just great. Like I said, this is probably the best gun in the Terran Tactical lineup, that Combat Master Alpha. All right, so we all know who's taking it for the number 1, and the winner of the Battle of the Race Guns, of course, is that Infinity 38 SuperComp. And I know what you're probably thinking. Oh, yeah, it's expensive. Hear me out. Yes, it's the expensive one in my entire collection that I paid for. Only the Combat Master Alpha is probably coming close to what these things are valued at right now, what people are willing to buy these for, third market. But think about design and build of the Infinity race gun. I always have this problem, but let's lock that back. The ported island barrel is one of the best designs out there you can buy for any race gun, any normal double stack 1911 or 2011. Island ported barrels are hard to beat, and Infinity really hit the mark with the 38 SuperComp. This thing is a beast, shoots flat. Now the reason why you didn't see me like really rapid firing this, at the range, all clear, just being safe for YouTube. The 38 SuperComp is like shooting an AR 5.56. This thing is loud, and I was using the right ammo, not plated brass, but like I said, when this thing shoots, it is loud. Shrapnel's probably flew everywhere. He got somebody in the back of the neck that was facing me, but it got him in the back of the neck. So that was kind of weird. But overall, this is the gun number one, the champ of the battle of the race guns, the Infinity 38 SuperComp. Hands down, no question. And the reason is that ported island barrel, second to none. So if you get a ported island barrel for any gun, that is going to be a winner. But right now, 38 SuperComp Infinity, number one champ, battle of the race guns. So big hands for the Infinity 38 SuperComp. Drop some comments. Let me know what you think. Give me some feedback. Like I said, my rankings are based on me using these guns in competition, shooting it, control, maintaining the weight, based on my stamina going through stage after stage after stage. So thinking of a major competition, 13 stages, can I maintain the weight of the gun throughout those 13 stages? But that's all I got for tonight. Thanks for hanging there with me. It was a long review. I appreciate you, everything that you do. Watch my videos, leave comments. You guys are the best. All right, so this is Mr. Blackson, Team BlackSmith. As always, like, share, subscribe. Join the team. I'm out.